All right, we are live. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Rob the Builder. Can we build it? Yes, we can. How you doing, David? Now, today we are on to the Mustang. Well, a Mustang. We're working on two. That being the case, one of them. Yes. Being the Boss Mustang one today. Yeah, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts. There's a little bit of cabin work I want to tidy up. And then anything on the undercarriage, pretty much. And engine, there's a few engine detailing bits we need to do as well. This we shall now do. Well, we'll get on to doing that in due course. Oh, Rob, I've just looked at what I've left on my desk from yesterday, and it's little short of unfettered carnage. You in grommet. Anyway, first things first. Now, round we come. In I go. In I come. Now, we'll put this away, shall we? Put it away, boy, or I shall tweak it. Now, there's the bits. Well, a bit I wanted to do a bit of tidying up on. These are good. And was there anything there? A little there. And a little there. A couple of tiny. No. Very good. That's solid, sir. So just a little bit on here, and then we'll get into some other parts. Pretty obviously, one thing I would like to do is reinforce this blue color on those bits that we have it. And then, because there's a couple of points where it's not quite as pretty as I'd like it, so we'll fix that up. Wouldn't mind touching up a few bits and bobs here, to be honest. So this we will now do. So, excuse me a moment. I need to I've got a bit of hay fever going on this morning. I'm not quite sure what the dealio is with that. Now, first port of call, jet black. Now, I'm not going to go. Well, I'm not normally on for that long anyway, but I'll be going for only for about a bit over an hour today. I have a few things to do before an early appointment. So yeah, alrighty. But we will get some work done. Yes, we will. And once this is done, that will largely be that done. Now, I'll probably tidy up even or just do a little. This might take a couple of cracks actually. Never mind. I'm waffling. Yes, I am. Oh, got an itchy hand. No one needs that behaviour. Unless you're into what's the term I'm looking for? I think the term what is the term I'm looking for? What is the term I'm looking for? I guess it would be a form of spiritual belief, but yeah, basically it cuts down to there's a thing where if you've got an itchy palm, it shows you're going to get money. Yeah, really? On the other hand, I've also heard it suggested, I'd suggest this is perhaps more valid, that where have I put all my bloody... Here we are. Here's a whole stack of them. That the reason you get an itchy palm is through excessive amounts of self-pleasure. This is more likely, I would suggest. That's just my take on it. Here we go. Now, there we go. Now, somebody just gave me a like on Facebook. Thank you if they're still there. I do appreciate. Now, alrighty, now we shall. You're seeing a bit of my shoulder there. I'm going to bring you in a bit closer here. Maybe. There we go. There we are. Now, down. There. Into there. There we go. Let's define that seat. Ding, 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 ding. Bow. Oh dear. Pardon me. It's one of my favourite Crack That Whip references is actually from The Simpsons. They do a family showcase in one episode. And excuse me, I'm back. And they've got the Waylon Smithers dances. And There's Smithers going, crack that whip. Ding, 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 ding. Licorice whip. Ding, 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 ding. I find it amusing. Yeah, I really only can come at that from this angle. Now, oh, hey, King Fox, how you doing? Oh, and Budgie Mama, how you doing? As you can see, I'm just getting a few things in order on this seat here. I hope you're well. Yeah. How are your builds coming along, guys? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. In a minute, I'll give you a bit of a zoom in on this. It's almost done. Then, wouldn't mind. There was another colour. Yeah, dark grey was the other one I wanted to have a bit of a look at very quickly before we start hitting the blue. Hitting the blue. There we go. Now, come down here. Almost done, as you can probably see. And then we'll give some of these other parts in this colour a bit of a tizzy up, just to make them look that bit nicer. Into here. There we go. Oops, that's annoying, but I can fix later. Maybe into here a bit. When I give you a zoom in, you'll see where I've got to do we're now at what I call the spots point, which is to say spot here, spot there. And there's like 2 spots of dark grey that need to be attended to. Was one on here There's a line down the back there. However, she's starting to come along. Oh. Yeah, right. I'm actually moving. Well, possibly. I'm definitely moving. It's more a question of when and where. I'm checking out a place tomorrow. So yeah. And in a moment, I'll give you a zoom in on this. Anyway, but yeah, and with all that you've got laid out like that, yeah, that's a big task. Yeah, good luck. If yeah, moving's always a whole stack of no fun. My plan with regards to my move, because I get hip surgery in a bit over a month. It's 5 weeks now away. And I want to move in the 9 days leading up to that. So basically, I move straight into hospital. Then come out, recovery. Get everything done. That's the plan. At my end, sure yours is probably rather different. As I am going to need to do a little touch up on. Actually, no, it's a different colour than what I was looking at. That is German field grey. So what we'll do is a couple of tidy ups, or a tidy up on some dark grey. In a moment, after I've given you a zoom in on our cabin as it stands. Rinse. And a convenient bit of card. So, oh, there you go. Probably don't need much magnification, really. But yeah, here we are. There's a small spot of black I got on the middle there. I'll tidy that up. And there's a little bit of, when I do that, I'll do a little bit of the same colour around there just to tidy that up. But that's the back seats and cabin mostly good to go. Now, next, I'll pop that over to somewhere. Over to here, I guess. And splotch. Now, next, bit of dark grey. Then it's onto the engine blue, most of which you can see it's more tidy ups and colour consolidation is the term I'm looking for. And yeah, first I'll need to find the blue I used, which would be this one. Boom, that's a bit convenient. Ooh, convenience. Now, 'cause This area on here is just a question of tidying up one end. And then there's actually one other thing I might do before we get on to our blue. That is actually, I want to hit the chrome on the top of the, well, they're not chromed, but I want to apply some chrome there to give them a bit of a shine, because apparently they are very shiny. And I just want to make them a bit shinier. Now, excuse me a moment. I'm back. Now, this one I can also give a bit of application to the lid. Yes, I can. Not quite mixed yet, though. If you wonder what I'm talking about with regards to the application on the lid, I'm getting into the habit of... Oh! Now here's the bad news, Ian. My mother was a librarian, and well, actually she was a teacher librarian. I digress. But ultimately, a librarian. She had a passion for the English language, and yeah. Do you think I had any chance? Really? Now that said, being able to, the one thing that actually did give me was a really good ability to read and write. I walked into school and I found the work so easy that I'd have it done long before the other kids, and I'd start getting into mischief. And the teacher used to have to give me the newspaper to read to her. I didn't understand the issues, but I knew what the words were. So as I wouldn't get up to stuff. So, what can I tell you? To give you an example of the sort of thing my mother did for enjoyment. This is as a kid, mind you, which is why you can start going, for God's sake, woman. I believe when she got sent to Wales in the early days of the war, she would spend quite substantial amounts of time she'd get a dictionary, she'd just open it randomly, and she'd find a word that she didn't know. She would read that word, and then if in the definition she found other words she didn't know, she'd look them up too. This was her idea of fun. No, I'm not using that one. You know what I'm going to do? Pretty obvious move, in fact. This is a clean one. So, yeah. I remember once, this is back when this is actually a very amusing scene in the right light. Excuse me, there we go. This is back when I was doing security. Somebody had been an absolute tool. Not in a physical way, but they deserved a thoroughgoing shredding, which I happily delivered. And one of the guys I was working with was in stitches. And he's actually turned to somebody else who was present and said, I don't understand a word he's saying, but it sounds fantastic. There we go. Boom. So yeah, all that is oh, where's that bit of bloody cardboard? Boom. That's it. That's all I wanted to do was just tidy that up one little edge on that. And this I have now done. Zoom out. Goggles off. Alrighty. Now, clean brush. I'll get a bigger brush just to paint the lid. And then we'll get onto our blue. Where's it? I finished the ooh sound on blue then. Ooh. Briefly reminded me of a story I saw on YouTube told by Ozzy Osbourne about when he met Oliver Reed. I reckon he was in this hotel, and Ozzy Osbourne is off his chops, and in walks Oliver Reed, who apparently is a pretty big unit. He's a bit before my time, but he was according to Ozzy, he was a big guy. This bear of a man's walked in off his chops and sidled up next to Ozzy. And Ozzy just figured, well, he'll just mind his business, you know. And so eventually Oliver Reed has chirped out with, I see a tattoo. Because, of course, Ozzy's got quite a shitload. And Ozzy said, yeah. He said, I have a tattoo. You can see the ooh sound coming into play here. This is what reminded me of the story. And Ozzy said, oh yeah. Said, would you like to see it? Figuring that, you know, yeah. Figuring he's looking for an anchor on the forearm sort of style. And there at the bar, Oliver Reed has then unzipped himself and taken out his willy. And that indeed was where the tattoo was. And yeah, I don't know how the story ensues after that. You'd think with two raging alcoholics next to each other, it's probably going to end up very messy. But yeah, I just love the I have a tattoo. Pulls that, and yeah, certainly wouldn't expect that to be there. But yeah, Ozzy also said when the conversation first started up, he was absolutely shitting himself because he said, "Look, you know, this big pissed guy. I thought he was starting on me." Yeah, well, but yeah, tattoo. Now, all right. Now, clean brush or rinse brush. Now, next, good people. Yes. Bam. See you later. Now, that's right. I wanted to very quickly. Bing. Now, shake, 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 ba, ba, da, ba. Excuse me a moment. I'm back. Now, anyway. Delay. That'll do it, I should think. All I really want to do here, these are aluminium, but on here they're always very shiny. So what I want to try and do is really bring them up against the yeah, that's looking a bit better. Yeah. I'll even give you a bit of a compare and contrast here. Then I'll do the other side. And then I'll break on through to the other. Oh dear. Now, here's one that I have applied a bit of chrome to, but hasn't come up as nicely as, in my opinion. You can see how that's got a bit more shine to it than that one. So, dear. So we'll fix that on the other one. And then we will then it's blue time. Now most of that shouldn't take too long in actuality because a lot of this colour's already there. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, makes them look good. All right. Do I want to put any on this? Not really. It's a bit soft. Oh, no, I will anyway. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then... I only have a handful of these Testors paints. They are very good, and as far as enamels go, I've got to say they are really swish. They're nice paints. While I'm not much of an enamel man, if I was going to go down the enamel path, Testors and Tamiya actually I probably use. Tamiya are nice. Tamiya are pretty good on just about everything they do, in fact. Yeah, trusting Facebook is a perilous game. Something I've been fact checked on some ridiculous things lately too. And like scope this one. There was shortly remember that remember it wasn't long ago. Shortly after the Oval Office fiasco with Trump and Zelensky, there was a thing doing the rounds that I thought was kind of funny. It was obviously generated by AI. And this Zelensky's clearly running out of patience and just leaning over and dropping Trump cold in his chair. To which all I can say is, "Oh God, if only he could have." I'll tell you who my money would have been on. In any event, I put it up there figuring anybody with an IQ of above 25 is going to realize AI generated, there for a laugh, not serious. I got fact checked. Your post has been removed because of fact checkers. It's curiously enough, if it's on the other side of the equation, there'll be no questions asked there. God damn, Zuckerberg, could you be any more sycophantic? Now, blue. Oops. Now, how are we traveling on the mixing front? Not quite yet. Now, I think some of these I can be quite rough with, in fact. Well, not rough, but I can get a big brush out and just go boom shakalaka. And I will, because it's just going to be easier. Then I'll probably go into finer details on with a smaller brush is the deal here. Look, before I take that lid off, let's just check that pigment state. Let's say it's looking nice and alrighty. Now, where possible, I'm just going to go for a big brush on this, as I said, because, well, why wouldn't I? And indeed, the big brush will also facilitate painting that. So we'll get a good start on all of that, some of which we'll be able to complete in one fell swoop. And then we'll get the small brush out for the other stuff. Now, first things first. Here we go. Slap, 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 slap. Do our sump here. Because I think that's the sump. we go. Yeah, it's going to look much better for that. This is the second coat. I've only done one before on these in this color. So yeah, unsurprisingly, this is making it look much nicer. There we go. Now these. Okay, here's how we'll do this. We'll get a bit of a start with the rest of this blue. I will tidy up with a much finer brush. But ultimately I'm going to do these big areas with this because I can. And then we'll go the smaller stuff with a much finer one, as I said. There we go. There we go. So they're already looking better. Now, if I'm cautious, I can even do some of this before I get into the nitty-gritties of up-close and personal work with a finer brush. It'll certainly take up a lot of the alright, we'll leave that there. And now we'll come, most of this I might actually do with a finer brush, although and alright, one. Oh, and the end. There we go. We are getting places, boys and girls. We are getting places. All right, now. Oh, hey, Paul, how are you doing? Now, next. Delay. Oh, why did I do that? I'm going to need to re-clean it shortly, because what I want to do is, of course, this lid, and then we'll get stuck into the small stuff. There we go. Round you come. And done. Now, this won't take long to re-clean, you'd hope. And then we'll get in on the rest of the dark blue. Then we'll see how we're travelling for time. So I have a few things I have to do before an early appointment. Now, we will go with want something sharp, but doesn't have to be excessively so. Sorry guys, I'm just checking the different options I have. We'll go with this one. Jesus. For a briefly frightening moment there, I thought I'd spilt thinner everywhere. Shit, I didn't get any on my rings, did I? No. I just... No, I'm good. Might just take them off and give them a wipe anyway, just in case. Then I'll put the lid on the bloody... Getting a bit distracted here, guys. No, it looks like I was good as far as avoiding getting thinner on my bling. Nobody wants that behaviour. Now, ow. Now, goggles I'm going to require here. Now, there's a few little spots here where once we've done our second coat and varnished, it'll look very nice. At the moment, it's looking a bit patchy in places. So we'll fix that up. There. Around this way. Now our next port of call, once this is all dried, will very obviously be varnishing. Oops. Tidy that up later. If I get it such that there's only one bit of tidy up required, that's going to be good. Like there's one little spot of aluminium I should do. There's a couple of spots probably, but never mind. Two. There, a bit more. And through there. There we go. Yeah, that's looking better. Yes. And once I've got this one done, I'll give you a quick zoom in so you can see the difference between this and the other one, which is still looking kind of tatty. And all right. And for some reason, I see it. There we go. All right. Now, the inherent difference here, good people, is that we have, look at that one. At the top, you can see it's a bit etchy sketch as opposed to that one. Well, a couple of little spots there still, but yeah, you can see there's a big difference. Now, so you're having a bit of a day with spillages, aren't I, kids? Anyway. That was onto this one. Here we go. Now. Whoops, I should zoom you out, guys. Sorry. Probably a bit too much. Now. Oh, hey, John. How you doing? All right. All right. All righty, there we go. So we've got that's our engine block largely in good order. Now here, yeah, these are a bit easier in truth. So all I've got to do with this one is just come into here a bit. Done. And yes, now these get a little tricksy because there's a bit of zigzag. Much better. It's just a more solid color, and that's what you want on your kit. You know, you don't want this patchy shit. There we go. That is going to look much nicer when the time comes. Now, I'm thinking, and I do sometimes, as I say, that once I've done that one and that one, we'll have to have a look at the time. Yes, we will. But we've got a bit done today. Now, I'm a bit unsure if I'm fishing on Saturday, only because of the weather forecast. Now, that usually doesn't stop us, usually. And indeed, in some ways, it straight out encourages us. But if I'm not, I'll be on. Now, I actually wouldn't mind continuing work on the car tomorrow. If I can get the... I'd like to get all the engine detailed and tidied up. I would like very much to get the undercarriage ready to go. Tomorrow being Wednesday, I might be able to stay on for quite a while and get a lot done. I wouldn't mind that. No, I would not. So that's something I might consider. There is also the, depending on how... all right, that's most of them looking good. But yeah, there's also a thing of, I do find sometimes when you're doing stuff, it can get a bit mind-fucky. I think that's the technical term, mind-fucky. Anyway, now, air filter. Yes. A bit of delicacy here. Now, first let's go into our inner area here. And yes. So all right. Sweet. Starting to look nice. Almost. Almost. All right. Now. And now we will go. Into here. Whew. Coming along. A little touch. There we go. Now. Come into here. Just want to see if there's any quick colours I can. It'll take me no time to knock off. Now. Now. Much happy with the air filter. That's good. All right. All right. I'll give you a zoom in shortly. Now, dearie me. Alrighty, now clean brush. And then, as I said, I'll zoom you in. And then, I reckon, let's have a look. Now, there are some colours I can go slap, 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 slap with. So I'm gonna. Yes, I am. I can put in maybe an extra 10 minutes and get some stuff done. So why not do that, you say? You know what I mean? That's my take on it. I can see a couple of spots right now. Easy aluminium hits. So let's do them. Now, so what we got there, there's our cardboard, is so we've got our sump nice and solid there, looking much more nice in their color, as is our air filter. What else is that? There we go. And of course, these little, really getting a bit grumpy with some of the stuff I'm just knocking around at the moment, guys, but never mind. Boom, and you can see again, nice solid color. That's how we want it to look. Now, zoom out. Next, aluminium. Being, boom. Nice dark grey, Rob. What are you doing, boy? There we go. There's a couple of very easy bits of aluminium to hit. So that we're going to do. Once we've hit them, we are, or I am going to wind up the stream. There's only a couple of bits. In fact, they're not even on this. They can go over to there. And as I said, we'll come back and do some more on this tomorrow, I reckon. That's my opinion. All right. Now, one of these I seem to recall was very clearly a shiny. No, it's grey. I think it's one I used today. Looking. Oh, hell with it. All right. And this won't take long. All right. Now, this we can just get a, probably we'll go chunky for a punky, I guess. Here we go. Just a bit of a tidy up. Refreshen up to make them look extra nice. Because, well, hey, while I'm here, I've got a little bit of time I can probably put to use. I may as well. That's my take. And, yeah. Now, tomorrow we'll go straight for the undercarriage, pretty much. And any colours that overlap with the engine is when we'll do them. But for the most part, we are now looking pretty solid on a lot of this engine and cabin stuff. All right. Jesus, how many times am I going to knock shit over today? Grr. All right. Now. Once I've got this brush cleaned, I'll give you a zoom in on all that we've done today, which is a bit. And then I'll wind the stream up. Alrighty, now this brush may have seen better days. Now, bing. All right, so look at that bit of cardboard. And so what we did today was mostly consolidate our dark blue colour so it looks nice and solid. We hit a bit of the aluminium as well there, just to make that look a bit nicer. Yeah. We also, that's on the other bit of sprue. Aside from obviously doing these ones as well. Again, just color consolidation just to make it look a that bit nicer. And a bit more of a shiny effect on the cylinder heads. And finally, the other thing we did was get these back seats in some sort of an order. There's a couple of little spots that still need to be made to look a little more pretty, but they're getting there now. All right, that is me done for the day. All righty. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. Now, as always, any first-time viewers out there, you know what the drill is. Follow, like, or subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, well, more power to you, hell boy or girl or whichever. You get the drill. Now, tomorrow I'll be back. Sarah Connor, is she here? I'll be back. Thank you, David. Now, as I said, tomorrow I'll be back. I want to continue on the staying for a bit, just for tomorrow. I'd like to really put a good solid session in and get as much done as possible. I really would. That's the aim. So, now, other platforms. If you wish to track me down on other platforms, I'm Rob the Builder on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Robster the Builder on Instagram and Twitch. And if you find me there, you all know the drill, people. follow, like, or subscribe. Okay, now, as I said, I'll be back tomorrow. In fact, I've said that a few times in case you missed it the first however many. And as I said, we will be continuing on the Mustang. And I'll probably be around for a while, I reckon, because like I said, I want to get a good solid session on engine, undercarriage, because there's still quite a lot beyond that to do. So we'll want to do that as well. All right. There we have it, peeps. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm going to be back tomorrow, and hopefully I'll see you good people then on the same kit time and the same kit channel. My pleasure, David. And as I said, hopefully I'll catch you guys then. See yous.